guys? Welcome back for another one. Yes, I did it again, another helmet. And to be honest with you, I couldn't help myself with all the Black Friday end of the year sales. I finally found a reason to buy a helmet that I've been looking at for a minute because finally the price made sense, so I jumped on it. Anyway, the purpose of this video is to give you my initial impressions of this Ruroc Atlas 4.0 liquid carbon and break down, all the different things like design, ventilation, noise, and basically the overall quality, and just try to see where it fits among the big name brands' popular models. So let's talk about what you get in the box. Outside of the helmet, you get a dark and a clear shield along with the visor bag. Very nice performance kind of material, real soft. You also get this nice helmet bag, and these are like little ear pads that you put. I guess if you don't have a comm system in there, this padding makes the helmet a little quieter if you put those in. But we'll get to that stuff in a second. So one of the strong points about Ruroc in general has got to be the design. Without a doubt, design is the strong suit of the Ruroc Atlas for not only are the helmets that they make with or without graphics really handsome, but the overall form factor, the way they did the nose piece, these vents, the side vents here, the whole shape of the entire helmet really gives you that fighter pilot video game character kind of helmet look. And Ruroc knows what they're doing in the design department. If you look at all their graphics, everything from Marvel to Star Wars, dragons and all that stuff, everything us big kids want. So definitely Ruroc's strong point. Now, when we talk build quality, if you've been watching any interviews on helmets, the opinions vary from very high to issues with the build quality, customer service, things like that. I can only speak on this helmet that I received. I am in no way sponsored by Ruroc. I spent my own money on this. So I just wanted to see how good this helmet really was. And like I said, it finally dropped down to a price where I figured it was worth it. So one of the main complaints that I've seen on other reviews and stuff like that, if we're talking about the build quality, where you might see glue along the seams or the seam might be coming loose. I think somebody else mentioned that this little rubber piece that they put on the back, it's obviously just 3M taped on there, but I guess that was loose. Maybe a poor batch, who knows. Like I said, the one I got is good, so I can't really say more beyond that. This helmet is DOT and ECE 2206 certified, so it's got you covered in the protection part if that's important to you. So some of the strong points of this helmet, first of all, let's talk about the visor. The visor has an excellent field of view from beyond your peripherals, at least mine, on one end to the other. The windshield is surprisingly clear. It gives everything a warm hue. It does not come with pin lock, but you can get the pin lock right from Ruroc themselves. Even at night, and I preface this with, I have an LP6 and I have a rigid adapt on my two motorcycles, so my headlights are really bright. Even at night, I can ride with this shield without changing it out, without any problems. Urban city driving, you can see everything pretty good. I certainly wouldn't recommend it out in the sticks or out in the mountains somewhere where there's not a lot of street lights and stuff like that. But you can get away with it. I just don't recommend it. Also, another strong point of the visor is these detents. They are very strong. And one of the things I did to test this this helmet was I took it out on both my motorcycles. If you don't follow the channel, both motorcycles are rocking the Memphis shades. I've got two different size windshields, so I was swapping them back and forth because it just changes the characteristics of the wind and how it hits the helmet, so it affects the noise and the ventilation. So what one rider may be experiencing on their bike might not be what you experience on yours if you don't have a similar fairing, windshield, or if you're rocking without either. So I wanted to, jump in there and test it in as many different variables as I could. And I could tell you, this detent, I could not make this detent go down with the wind until almost 100 miles an hour. And that's pretty impressive. That's better than my helmets, any of my helmets in the back. And I have a Shoei X14, I have a Shoei RF 1400, I've got the HJC Alpha 91 and this LS2. So as far as that's concerned, the detent's very strong. You can crack it like this and ride all day long, at least in my experience on my motorcycles, not a problem. So really, really good strong point there. They do things a little different here. These, to remove the visor, you just turn and pop these things out, pull it out, put the new one on and lock it back in. It is pretty quick. I just worry that I might lose one of these one day. So that's how I feel about that. So again, visor, detents, very good. Ventilation. Ventilation is also subject to the things I just mentioned before, as far as windshield size or lack thereof and things like that. I am of the opinion so far that this is not the best ventilated helmet. And this vent up here, I don't feel anything. And I've got a lot of hair, real thick hair or whatever, but no matter how I rode it, I couldn't feel anything up in this area. This vent down here is a little different. With it in the down position, it was pretty decent. Another negative about that lower vent itself, you may not be able to see that, but the button in here is on the inside to open and close this vent. So what happens is when you wear it, you have to stick your hand in this way or try to get behind the neck curtain and change the position. You can, if it's closed, you can drop it back down. You could probably use your tongue, but I don't recommend it. I mean, I did it one time and I got it down, I couldn't get it back up, and anyway, just a poor location as far as I'm concerned for the inner vent, and this is the one you're probably going to be changing the most. Noise. This is also a loud helmet. It's not incredibly loud unbearable, it's just a loud helmet. So these things do help. And I didn't even put them in the ear slot behind the ear pad. I actually just put it right in this little area right here. I just literally went like that and it helped. It helped muffle the sound. I do have the Cardo in here. I just installed that. So I want to ride it without it and then see if these things are still applicable. So yeah, it is a loud helmet. Again, it's one of those things. If you're behind a large fairing with a tall windshield, it's not going to be as loud, and vice versa. So keep that in mind if you're considering purchasing this helmet. I was happy to find out that the aerodynamics was fine. I didn't have any head bobbing with any of my windshields on either of my motorcycles. Another, I would say, negative at the moment, but it may be something to learn, is their chin buckle. They call this the fidlock, and it's just a magnetic strap. Taking it off is great. And like I said, maybe I just need enough time with it to learn it, but putting it back on when you have it on your chin or whatever, it's kind of clumsy. You either get it right away or you struggle with it. That's been my experience with it so far. I imagine the more I use this, the more I'll find that little sweet spot and it'll become easier over time. But as of right now, it is a little frustrating, but I've only ridden this 3 or 4 times so far. Weight happens to be another strong suit of this helmet, at least in regards to the other helmets you see here on this table. All my helmets are an extra large. I have a big coconut head with a lot of hair. So the weights of my, excuse me, the weights of my helmets are larger than what you would find online, because normally when they post weights, they're not posting weights of their largest helmet. So all my helmets came in just over the 4-pound mark. This one was a full pound lighter pretty much than all the rest of my helmets. My two Shoeis, being the lightest of the four, and this was pretty much a full pound lighter than those two. And you can feel it. Let's talk fitment. Fitment of the helmet is good. It's true to size. Like I said, this is the extra large, and it's consistent with the fitting of all of the other helmets. The inside liner is very comfortable. I had no problem putting the helmet on or off. Regarding fitment, one of the other concerns too, and it's more of a small annoyance, is this nose piece right here. My very tip of my nose touches it right here ever so slightly. So I guess depending on the size of your nose and the shape of your face, that may pose a problem. I'm getting used to it. It's not a big deal, but I have to let you know because, like I said, my nose, this does curve in slightly at the top, and my nose is just touching the tip of it. So where does this helmet fit amongst the top brands, their popular models? Where would I slot this in with my experience so far? Well, it's got a lot of premium highs, certainly, and it's got some things that they still need to work on and they need to change. Like I said before, the helmet is loud. My thought that it was coming through these vents. They said that they did testing, they blocked these vents off, and they didn't see a difference or enough of a difference to make a change. So that is the way it is. But like I said, between the design, the visor and stuff like that, there is some premium features to this helmet. So if I had to categorize it somewhere, I would say it'd probably be like a high-end HJC, like a Alpha 11 Carbon, their race version. I would say it's in that line, in that range of helmets. Shoei's been around for a long time. They do some premium stuff. The helmets are quieter. They have better ventilation, things like that. But you got to give credit where credit is due. This is a startup that's been out for a couple of years, going against helmet companies that have been doing this for a very long time. This is not an easy task, and I think this helmet, or one of the latest versions of their helmet, because this helmet's about a year old, has impressed me so far. Like I said, it's not without its quirks and issues. I have issues with all my helmets. I've never found the very perfect helmet, but I would say so far this has been a solid helmet. Would I take this on a long trip? I don't know. I have the Cardo in there now, so I want to ride it around with the music and see if that offsets some of the noise. If I didn't have it in there, I don't know. It wouldn't be the first helmet I grabbed. Certainly doable, but like I said, it can be loud, and that could be fatiguing over time. So like I said earlier, I did put the Cardo on. I happen to mount mine back here. I've seen some people clip them in up here, but I don't want to mess with the integrity of this rubber seal here or anything like that. And I thought about putting it up here, but I didn't want to block the helmet or possibly create some sort of whistling happening here by putting it in this slot here. So to me, this made the most sense. It's a little further back. That doesn't bother me, but I was able to route the helmet right through here and even use, they have a built-in Velcro spot here for your microphone. So I routed the mic one way and the short speaker the other. Putting the Cardo in the helmet was pretty easy. Taking the liner out is pretty simple. You don't even have to take out this top part in here, only the ear pads, and then unsnap around the back here. So that was a pretty simple job. Gonna take it out for a ride, see how it sounds, see how it feels with the music, and certainly give you guys my long-term review as of right now, like I said, it's really handsome. If you're into the transition lenses like I am, they do make a transition lens for this. I got this this blue iridium kind of color here. I think it looks pretty badass. Looks good on the King. They have like an orange one too, a goldish orange kind of thing. Thought about getting it for the Bob, but I wanted to see if it was worth it, to see if the helmet was good enough to invest extra money in for things like that. So all in all, so far so good. I think after watching a lot of the reviews, I have no experience with Ruroc's previous helmets, but if you watch the other reviews, they were kind of subpar. People say this should have been their first helmet. It's a good helmet. I think at the price point that Black Friday puts it, a sub $500 helmet, and you know, you can get all the other goodies with it too. I think that's a good, fair price for this helmet. So if you're interested in this helmet later on, I will give you a long-term review. I just want to put a couple of thousand miles on it, and then I can come back and give you guys my overall review of the helmet, yay or nay. And yeah, like I said, looks badass. The carbon fiber weave is beautiful. If I put it against my Hoffman fiber lids and my fenders, it fits perfectly. No issues there, no, you know, spot there where you can see there was an overlap done or anything like that. So again, very happy with that, very happy with the way it looks. At the end of the day, if you like videos like this, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. We've got more coming. I've got stuff on the Road King that I'm waiting to come back from the shop. I've got some things I'm waiting to come in for the Street Bob, and we're going to do some bigger things really soon here. So thank you guys for taking time to watching the video. If you like videos like this, hit the like and subscribe. Helps the channel out, and I'll catch you on the next one.